please, if you win the league, you can, so please do not celebrate there. And to be fair, everybody said, okay, we understand, that's going to create chaos or whatever.
Robbie Keane deep into stoppage time, scores 2-2.
I remember Tarico jumping around and he got a cramp out of it, by the way. Jumping around and celebrating it, like celebrating a draw. First of all, that tells you their standard. Celebrating a draw. And I looked at him, I said, are you kidding me? And he went, yeah, jumping in front of me. I said, do you realize that we needed a point to be champion at your place? And he was talking, I said, watch me after the game.
To finish, big up everyone, man. Clean through, one-on-one, back on this channel. For a long time it's not been, but it is. Shane is here early. I know you guys are here early. I just seen that BBK is raided, so big up to BBK. Big up to BBK. Northside is going to be here, but silly old views are saying 5 p.m. and yeah, it's UK time, innit? And he's on Barcelona time. So it's 6 p.m. his time. So he's live at the moment, but he said as soon as he finished, he's going to pop over here and give us a little bit of his time. So it is still going on, people. It is still going on. But for now, you've got the dangerous duo, Danger Mouse and Penfold. We are back in the building. Shane, my brother, how you feeling, bro?
All good, man. All good. My feelings are a little hurt from all the comments that have been thrown my way on the radar. I messaged Dan as well for the clip that he did. I said you could have picked a better picture. You know what I mean? Fuck it. It's just up to the camera like that, like I'm trying to eat the fucking thing. He must have caught me mid shout, but he said, "Nah, that's all I'm saying." I big up the Dan Potts, man. But yeah, look, I was saying to you backstage, you wouldn't want to have you wouldn't want to be in your feelings in this game, man. Jesus Christ, I've been accused of everything under the sun for saying that we don't play the best football in Europe.
Jesus. Well, we don't.
You know what I mean? That's all I said is we don't play the best football in Europe. But all good, man. All good. I can't complain. I was laughing my arse off at Tottenham this morning. Poor old Robert Pruden. Was it? No, it was a Tibbsy. I think it was Tibbsy put in. I don't think Franco, he was in early, so I don't think Franco gets sacked because they're doing well in the Champions League in like 20 minutes later. Good old Tibbsy, man. I'm pretty sure it was Tibbsy. It was Tibbsy, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All good, man. All good.
Yeah, I'm glad, man. I'm glad. And I watched it yesterday, and you know what I mean? Like I said, I had to stay out of the comments because I didn't want to get myself blackballed, but you know what I mean? Yeah, big up for that, man, because we have to have our side represented, you know what I'm saying? And it seemed a little bit like, I don't know, it was a little bit AFC-ish, you know what I'm saying? AFTV-ish, I should say.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So is it, yeah, but so you done well, man.
Is that what you're saying? Hatchet job. Was I lured into a trap? Oh,
something was going on. Listen, Dan knows what he's doing, man, and you know he's you know, legend. You know what I mean? Just set it up, and just sit back and just let it all unfold. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. If you ain't seen it, go and watch it. You know what I'm saying? My brother represented.
Yeah, represent me in the comments. I'm getting fucking pasted over there, lads. Come on.
You know what I mean? Go and help him out. You know what I'm saying?
I've been called everything under the sun, man. I want Arsenal to lose. Oh my God, he actually called Arteta a serial killer. He's a terrible person.
That annoys me as well. I know we're kind of going off a little bit, but that annoys me as well because obviously the first thing Views in the Wig said was, you know, Shane, do you support Arsenal? And it's like, this is just, it's the same. It just reminds me of back in the day when the fans are like, turn the cameras off. It's no good for Arsenal. It's like, well, sometimes, you know, you need a little bit of tough love. Do you know what I'm saying? But listen, man, I thought you represented well. Big you up for that. Big up the rest of the people that was on there, and big up Dan Potts, of course. Let's move on a little bit, man, because the main news, obviously, I wanted to get into it with Northside when he gets over here. So, you know, when he does, we'll ask him. But yeah, man, Thomas Frank. I'm a little bit pissed off, Shane, because, you know, they could have waited until, you know, was it 11 days? Do you know what I mean? Are they going to have a new manager bounce when we play them? And I'm a little bit off it. Are we at their ground?
We're there. It's away. Yeah,
it's away, right? So, you know, we're at the fucking, you know, the NFL stadium. and they could have a new manager, but I don't know why it went into my maybe because it's the PTSD, maybe because we're so unhappy in our lives, right? But I was thinking, look at that, you know, for an omen that they are going to finally sack him right before they play us, and they might have new manager bounce, and even though they might go on to still have, you know, rocky results, they might get one against us, you know, with this new manager. But everything's about this game, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Maybe turning it around. I don't know why the thought went through my head. I'm so depressed, guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you, but I just wanted to kind of ask you and you know what you think of the sacking. You know, what do you think it's going to do for Spurs? Is there going to be a turn up? You know, what do you think, bro?
Oh yeah, it depends. If they get the Zebri in, which I'm wondering, I think he handed in or had a mutual termination about 5 hours before they sacked him, right? And I was saying this morning, I wonder if they were on the verge of sacking Frank, and then the Zebri's free, and they rang him and said, "Would you be interested?" And he said, "Yeah." Said, "Right, we'll pull the trigger now." When we were naming off possible managers this morning, one skipped. I don't know how it got past me, but Robbie Keane. He's bossing it over there. He's one of the most sort of talked about young managers. He played for Tottenham. He loves Tottenham. Yeah. I wonder if he could be tempted. I wonder if Robbie Keane could be tempted into it. But if it's the Zebri, I would worry, because he is a master tactician, especially when he's the underdog. He comes up with tactics to nullify and then to hit on the counter or whatever. He could figure us out. So if it's the Zebri, I would be worried. But having said that, it is the chicken on the ball. They are a laughing stock at this point. Yeah. Do you know what? It's kind of like the old cartoons when the little, I don't know the PC term, but the small person is running and they just hold them by the head and they're swinging. Like Tottenham are just that, man. It's just comical and sad and funny at the same time. You don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Right.
It's really bad. Like, and maybe a relegation will be a kick up the arse for them. But I think there's a maximum crowd you're allowed in the Championship. I think it's 45k or something like that. There is some weird rule. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. I remember hearing something like that before.
Right.
But then they would just have, you know, a half-empty stadium all the time, and I shouldn't spoil, because I don't really want big teams to get crushed like that. But it is funny.
Yeah.
Because they bring it on themselves, views. Right. They bring it on themselves, and now they're talking about getting Poch back, who was the manager they sacked to start this mad conveyor belt of managers, and then to go through 6 more and go, "Do you know what, we made a mistake, come back."
Yeah, come back.
To me, it just screams Tottenham. It's so Spursy, and everything they do is Spursy. You know what I mean? They really do. But yes, we are broadcasting, Joseph. We're broadcasting. but yeah, no, it's funny. I think it will be between, for me, Robbie Keane and the Zebri. If it's the Zebri, I worry. Robbie Keane, I don't look. I followed him, you know, because he's Irish, and I know that he's doing really well over there. I know he's won things. I know he's done well in Europe and things like that. And there's a lot to talk about him. As for his tactics and stuff, I won't even go. You know, I won't even go into it. I'm not going to dare. I'm not going to be a gal. I'm not putting up a website. You know? But either of them, yeah, I think there could be a new manager bounce. It happens. They're at home, North London derby. What a way to make it's a free hit for whatever manager comes in.
Right.
You're expected to lose, and if you win your first game in a North London derby, you're a hero.
That's
so it's a free hit.
That's a great point. I never thought of it like that. I was just thinking of the negative. That's what I was thinking of, you know, because my life is so sad. I just thought, look at that, though. You know, they couldn't wait just another 11 days. You know, get this result out of the way and then do what you like. And I just thought, wouldn't that be something? Because these guys really want to, have a say in what goes on in the title, especially if they can mess it up for us. So yeah, it just went through my head, but I didn't think of it like that. It is kind of a free hit, isn't it? Because are they going to have much time to train with the team? You know, to kind of get across their ideas.
That's what I mean. If they lose, people just go, well, they were expected to lose. Now we move on from here. And if they win, you get a big buffer at the start. I was thinking about that earlier. I was self-harming because I'm so miserable. And I was thinking, you know, I had the lighter under my hand, and I was thinking, you know, what if they get the Zebri in? And then, you know, I stuck a knife in my leg, and then I thought, yeah, do you know what? Maybe they will. That's not advocating for self-harming, by the way. It's facetious. I'm just being sarcastic. I'm just being sarcastic.
we do have the ability to do that. Suge, my guys.
Big up the north side for the raid. What a legend.
We got to north side as well, man. So obviously, like I said, it was my bad. Do you know what I mean? Because we got the times messed up. Let me just
one time I give you the rains views, and you
know what I mean? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Suge. big yourself up. Said, big up views. The guy reminds me of a cloud. When you disappear, it's a beautiful day, Sean. Northside and chat, hit the likes and subscribe. Big up, man, each and every time. Really appreciate that, my bro. Big up to Suj, man. Legend, always showing love over on Shane's channel. And big up to Northside as well. Hopefully, obviously, it'll be over as soon as he can. Like I said, it was my bad. As Shane said, gave me the reins. Dopey over here is a whole hour behind. But there he is. Here he is. The legend himself.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
He's out.
Hughes, what's happening, man?
That's what he does.
Guys, bye.
The legend that is Northside.
No, big up, man. Big up, man.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, we were lucky, man. We had Mr. Potts last week, and now we got the legend that is Northside. Thank you ever so much for coming on. I know you've just done the show, my bro. So first and foremost, however long you can give us, we are appreciative. You know, if you need to pop out. And secondly, man, how are you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just chilling, man. Life outside of Arsenal is always great, man. You know what I mean? So I'm good, man. But big up to the both of you, man. Love for having me on as well, man.
Come on, man.
Life is good. No, I thought we were all miserable, though. That's what I was told. We're all miserable and suicidal and everything else. You know what I mean? I couldn't be more to my life, you know?
Life of a YouTuber, bro. Life of a YouTuber. It's mental, innit? Not even just that. I say the life of a lemon, you know, because it just changes week in, week out, you know, depending on what the cabal want to say. But anyway, enough of that. We're digressing. Northside, we were just talking about the big news today. I see that you put a video up about it as well. So, but I haven't managed to watch it yet. I will do. Thomas Frank. We were just talking whether that's going to give them a bit of an upturn before they play us. You know, is it going to be vital in our downfall? Like I said, my life's shit, so of course I'm going to go there first. But you know, a real legend like Northside, we want to know what what you've got to say on that, bro.
What on Thomas Frank?
On Thomas Frank, man. Yeah. What do you think they're going to have an upturn now, or do you think it's going to be too soon before the Arsenal game?
No. There's no upturn. There's no upturn. I think they have had a lot of injuries, to be fair to them. They have had a lot of injuries of players that start in their lineup. Having Maddison out, Kudus, Davies that starts for them, Udogie, a lot of players, Porro, he starts for them as well. I've had a lot of injuries, but at the same time, I just feel like they've allowed that squad to decay and their recruitment hasn't been that great. I think Maddison was a great buy for them. Basuma was a good buy for them. But then you look at Tell, you look at buying Solanke off of one season. You look at the fact that they put so much on Bergvall and Archie Gray as two youngsters. Having to, keep up the standards, holding on to Davies too long, holding on to Bentancur too long. I think it's just a mixed bag with them of why their teams why this team doesn't look that great. I mean, what was the contingency plan for Son and Kane? They know that they're going to lose those players a long time ago before they left. And it just didn't seem like there was a contingency plan. I feel like they were trying to, I just feel like they're a very confused club. Because as much as they were upset with Ange, he achieved despite not having a team to achieve. Pochettino got them Champions League football and contending for the league title despite not being built a team to do so. And they didn't back Poch. Mm-hmm. They didn't go all out in the way they could have to back Conte and Mourinho. And that club does have a lot of money, so they could have done a lot more if they wanted to. And they kind of half-assed it with that. And with Ange, it was just like, it was like, okay, you're judging him based on what he's doing on the pitch, but really and truly, your squad isn't where it used to be. And that goes down to the management and the scouting. I don't go down to the manager. Mm-hmm. Your team is not good enough. And now that Ange is gone, then they go and get Frank. Why would you get Frank after Ange? Because for all that Frank was doing bad in the league, he still proved himself to be a winner at a club that never win anything. Mm. And it's like, okay, you're going to move away from that, but then you go for Frank. It's like, why would you go for Frank, bro? Like, why? Like, for what? Like, what's he going to do? I knew that he wasn't going to get them performing better in the league, and he's not a manager that wins trophies. So in what world is he an upgrade on Ange? I didn't really understand that, So I just feel like they're confused. They either get the managerial... When they get a good manager, it doesn't reflect it on the squad. When they go and get themselves a good squad based on good coaching, some good scouting, they don't match that with the right manager. And now they've got the combination of both. A team that's decayed, that's a shadow of the team that we saw when they got to the Champions League final against Liverpool. And now they now have dug themselves a hole in terms of getting elite managers through the way that they burnt bridges with Jose and Conte. So it's like now you've got the whole mix match of standards at that club has just now become to a whole thing where it's like everything's in disarray. Like I genuinely feel like they're in worse disarray than we was when Wenger left. Like we still had Adebayo, we still had Aubameyang, and some players like that of some quality. I look at that squad and I'm like, he's really got quality. The best quality they probably got is a centre back in Van de Ven. Everything else is like meh. They go and get Javi Simmons instead of getting Eze. They go get Javi Simmons. They tried to go and get Gibbs White. They failed in getting Gibbs White. They go get Gallagher. It's like look at how they. It's a joke. A long way it continue, bro.
Yeah. And just before I bring Shane in, do you think? Because I was saying, is there going to be like I said, it was just in my mind because like. Things change so quickly in football. I'm trying not to be a lemon in it and say, right, because I said on my channel, no one panic. It's still the same thing. We got to handle our business back to 6 points, and we kind of go again. But I was just thinking, look at this, man. Just before Arsenal play, Frank's finally out. Is that gonna impede the Arsenal game? Now, like I said, I weren't sure whether we was home or away. We are away. That was the reason I asked. I mean, you obviously said no upturn. Do you feel like it could be just in time for that game, particularly though?
Is that for me?
No, for North.
Oh. Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I know you don't think there's going to be like a major upturn, but do you feel like it could, be a factor when we play them? Like obviously a new manager, a bit more of a happier place, maybe, a bit more hopeful. Do you think it was just kind of whatever, or it's coming bad time for us?
No upturn, no nothing. We're winning that game. I'll be real. We're winning that game.
But that's the thing, though, because I was thinking apparently there's an announcement tonight, which makes me think even more that it could be De Zerbi because he handed in his notice or mutual termination at Marseille about 5 hours before. And I was wondering this morning, would they thinking Frank's on the fence here, we'll give him another few weeks, and then someone said, well, De Zebri's free, right? We'll pull the trigger and we'll get rid of him. Now, I only thought of it earlier that Robbie Keane might be the one. When I was driving, I thought he's doing brilliant stuff over there in Hungary. He's getting a lot of plaudits. Someone's have to put in the chat that he's the favourite now. He's played for Tottenham. I'd be less worried because I'm not going to, I said to viewers earlier, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know Robbie Keane's tactics. I've kept an eye on him. I've kept an eye that he's doing well in Europe, that he's won leagues, that he's known as one of the sort of the best up-and-coming coaches. De Zerbi, I'd worry because he's a great one-off big game manager. He's able to come up with tactics and things like that. Sometimes they don't work, but sometimes they do. But I don't know if De Zerbi would see it as a backstep. He probably would, considering what Tottenham is now. So I do wonder if who do you feel it will be? Because I'm starting to lean towards Robbie Keane now. I'm starting to lean towards him as the choice.
It's interesting because I'm now seeing, like, I just put managers that are in line for the Tottenham job. They're saying like Eddie Howe. A lot of Newcastle fans are not happy with Eddie Howe. Yeah,
they want him out. Yeah,
a lot of them are now starting turning Eddie Howe and saying how the tactics are going stale and they keep getting, obviously they beat Spurs, but before that they had 3 losses on the bounce. Mm-hmm. So you've got that situation there. Thomas Tuchel, would Tuchel really want to go there? He's a manager. He doesn't get what he wants. He starts kicking off. Mm-hmm. You saw how it ended for him at Bayern. Like, he's not somebody who's going to sit there and just listen to these guys waffling Vinay. Do you know what I mean? And bro, I don't see him listening. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like Spurs, maybe they don't need another manager calling them out the way Conte did. So would Tuchel go there? I don't know. Marco Silva? I don't know. Glasner, they'll probably have to wait. Do you know what I mean? There's Southgate available. There's Xavi. There's Alonso. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. The man said they can have Slot. But yeah, I don't know, because look, we can't even look at them and say we know what they want. They don't seem like they know what they want. What profile manager did they want? They had what was his name? Johnson. Johnson was looking better under Ange. So why did you get Johnson then? if you're going to go for a manager that plays this style of football. Because he looked, as much as he's not a great player, he looked effective under Ange. He was scoring goals.
Yeah.
There was some use for him. Then he goes to Frank Bull, and then he's getting nothing. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, what we did. I don't get what they're doing. I don't know what they want. So it's like, what manager you're attracting based on what you want? I don't know. Attacking football. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
They're like spoiled kids, Tottenham. They always remind me of spoiled kids. They're never
Yeah.
happy. They're never happy when they're challenging. They're not happy that the football's not right. When they're not challenging, we don't care about the football. We just want to win. Our fan base are probably the worst, but they're right up there for just being really indecisive. It's like they're never happy with what they get. You know, you're in the Champions League. Yeah, well, I want to be higher in the league, and you're winning trophies. Yeah, well, look where we finished, and they're never happy. We're openly saying we'd switch last season with theirs at the time. They won a trophy. You know what I mean? And it's like they're never happy. I don't know. I don't get it, man.
They never push on, do they? And the thing is, like, I think obviously that everyone used to blame Levy before, but now he's not there. He hasn't been there for months. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask both of you guys quickly, right? And big up Jez, by the way. That's why I stayed on this. Big up, man. Hope you're good, bro. Big up everyone in the chat. The polls in the chat. Have you subscribed to Northside and Shane? Holy tags everywhere. Description. Make sure that you're subbing to both of these guys. But yeah, because I was thinking, you know, like, did they? Do you guys think that they backed Frank? Because look at the January they just had. Like you said, Johnson. You know, they just sold him to Palace. He had more G&A than Odegaard, by the way. Do you know what I mean? Last season, so you know, put that in your pipe and smoke it. But you're right. You know, under Frank, it's looked terrible. But do you think that they've actually backed him though? Quickly before we move on.
Okay, well, for me, I mean, they backed him, but I don't. Did he want Javi Simmons, or was that the best that they could do?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's what I think as well. Yeah.
It was kind of like, okay, he didn't really get his first choice there. Kudus, I think he was backed. I think a lot of Tottenham fans wanted Kudus as well. I think he was backed on that. Gallagher, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that one wasn't, you know, so much his decision. Maybe that was a club signing. You know, sometimes the clubs make signings and they're already kind of like, this guy's almost out of it. Clearly, we could see that they were already looking to get rid of him. He was already on a short leash. Yeah. Matthias Tell, maybe his signing. I don't know. I don't rate the player, but maybe he wanted. I don't know. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
it doesn't feel like it down north, does it? They don't feel like his signings for some reason. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it.
The Kudus
it doesn't feel. Kudus is a good signing, but again, he's been picking up injuries and so. Kudus is a good signing, but a lot of people wanted him. I've always been a big, very, very heavy in the manager should have all the say on transfers until we got this clown and I saw what happened. And I said, right, football's moved on. Now I'm at the point where I say, Tell did come last January. He did. I've got to the point now where I'm saying, well, you should have to earn it. You know what I mean? 2 or 3 years of working with someone, and then if your choices start to work, then you should get more and more responsibility, like any job. But I just look at Tottenham signings. Like I'm at North. Like, why would you get in a manager who plays the way Frank does with all these sort of Ange type players there? It makes no sense to switch it to a team that's just going to high press and close everybody down. When Ange played a high line, but he wasn't all about, you know, structure and stuff like that. It was all freedom. And then you get this guy that's really strict. And I do look at maybe they should have, if they didn't let Frank have a say on signings, they certainly should have let him have a bit, because his record of signings at Brentford was fantastic. But it's a lot easier to sign up and coming players and make them good than to sign ready-made players and make them even better. You know what I mean? And integrate
was already in place, wasn't it?
Yeah, and to deal with the egos and stuff like that. It's a lot different, man. A hell of a lot different. And then you look at them with the Arsenal Cup and all. I know we all laugh, but that is beyond ridiculous to do that. To be there, spotted with an Arsenal Cup. I mean, it's not even out of the football side. It's like, how are the fans ever? It's such a humiliating thing, and he had to have done it on purpose. There's no other way you could pick that up, look at it, and go, yeah. You know, I'm gonna. He knew what he was doing. I think he wanted to get sacked, but it's such a madness.
Did you know he was on 8 million? I didn't. I only found that out today.
You what?
I was today years old when I found out Frank was on 8 million.
Is he on 8 million?
Yeah, bro. Well, he was.
Pay him off that. So how much is he getting paid off? I wonder. Fucking hell. How long was his contract? 2 years? 3 years?
Well, I don't know. Go
You're
on.
talking about the Arsenal Cup. I saw online that apparently, I don't know how true this is, but apparently I saw online that he kept talking about Arsenal and how look how well they're playing and look at what they're doing. And apparently the players started getting pissed off with it.
He's a
You know what I
Well,
mean?
you
He kept coming.
Some Franks are gonna, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, listen, they're talking about new bounce. I'm like, yeah, if you're not careful, you're going to be bouncing down to the championship.
Non-stop. Non-stop.
Yes,
6 managers since they sacked Poch. It's a joke.
Yeah,
It's a joke. And I'm all for sacking managers if they're not doing it. But like you said, it's just bouncing around non-stop now. It's just bouncing around. So it's pointless. Absolutely pointless.
Right.
I just
Before
feel
we
like
even
a club should have a clear identity of how they want to play, and recruit to that, because then you're recruiting to the style of the manager, and you know that you're going to go for the same type.
The way
of
Brighton do, Norm. The way Brighton do. Brighton have a manager lined up who suits the way they play every time.
Because if you're just recruiting for a manager like they've done, then you're mix and matching, because you're going from a Poch team to then to a Mourinho team, then to a Conte team, then you're going for an Ange team, then you're going for, and it's just too much. You're not going to be able to churn that many players to rebuild the squad, or you're going to have to be patient the way that we did. And it's going to be a lot of seasons of not getting over the line, persistent with that manager. But then you have to have the belief that that manager will be able to deliver once he's got his team. And then you got to fork down the money for the players that you want. It just, I don't really get it. I just felt like they could have avoided this. Like if they stayed with the way that Poch wanted to play, and then transitioned to like an Ange, it would have been a more smoother transition in terms of the way that they play. Yes, it's a bit more attacking, but it's still within the realms of attacking football. Do you know what I'm saying? But then when you go for like two very, very pragmatic managers and then try and mold the team into that, then you go back to all out attacking football. It don't make no sense. And that's why the team looks all over the place. Look at the defense, but the defense is shit, bro.
They're all looking that way, man. That stream with you and Deji was classic, by the way, man. Deji is I'll tell you, I'm calling him the Gal Spurs, man. He knows what he's doing. He's a very smart guy. Do you get me? He's a very smart guy, Deji. Yeah. Let me big up Northside for the raid. Let me big up BBK for the raid. Thank you ever so much, man. Really appreciate it. And just before we move on, we've been lit up. He said big up to Black's Crow. He said, okay, let's keep it 100. The only reason managers and players big up the club and Arteta is because they want to be at our club. Pay too well. Absolutely. First and foremost, let me give you the clap quickly. Yeah. Red dot on your head, like we agree. Before we move on, because I do want to speak about Brentford quickly with you legends, but just on a different note, if Spurs, I was thinking about this today. If Spurs get relegated, yeah, that is them finished. Surely, you know, like when they say, "Oh, they'll just bounce back the next year." I don't know if they can. Shane was saying earlier, North, that he's not sure, but there might be a rule in the Championship where you can't have a gate bigger than 45,000. And obviously they can fit 60 into their shiny NFL stadium. So you get me. Just before we move on, let me get both of you guys' opinion on how you think they do if it happen.
I think they'll be trapped there for a while. I can't lie. I think they'll be trapped there for a while. I can't lie. It's not as easy as people think it is going down to the Championship, and then keeping hold of certain players, or certain players saying, "Yeah, you know what? I like my contract. I'm not moving. I'm not leaving." I think I have a lot of issues, bro. But now I want them in the league. I just want them to remain down there at 15th, like when I grew up. You know what I'm saying? They're just down there at 15th. You know what I'm saying? And we can start talking about big clubs like Aston Villa. You know what I'm saying? We can start talking about the other big clubs. I want them in the dirt, but I don't want them relegated, because I want to be able to slap them every now and then. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no fun you can't slap them. Do you know what I mean?
Guaranteed 6 points.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Like, I want them just down there. I want them to remain where they are right now. That's why I like them right there. Relegation battle every season. They can be the new West Ham, innit? They can be the new West Ham.
New West Ham. And funnily enough, just before I get Shane's opinion, yeah, I was deep in it today. Bro, from last season and this year, they've been around them relegation zones for a hot 18, you know, like an 18 months, year and a half spell. Some managers don't even get that long. That's how long they've been at the bottom. Shane, my bro, if the madness happens and they get relegated, how do you think they do?
I don't think it will be as enjoyable after a while for Arsenal fans as they think it will be. You know what I mean? They'll have that moment, but it is like an arch nemesis. You do miss them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Batman didn't have Joker, you get bored. You know what I mean? Like, it is, but it is that kind of thing. Like, it's ask Celtic what it was like when Rangers weren't around. It was boring as hell for them. Boring as hell for them. You know what I mean? And especially if they get relegated just because of this. I suppose the Celtic one's different, right? Because Rangers, it was the board fucking around with money and stuff like that, and it's not really, that's unfair on the fans. They did nothing wrong. It wasn't the team, so that is different. It would be funny as fuck. Again, excuse my language, if they did get relegated, because it's just hilarious. It really is. And you kind of you brought it on yourself. A lot of it you brought it on yourself. Like obviously not the fans, but like Nord said, like there's no structure in place. It's just like they're throwing things against the wall and hope it sticks. I mean, like I always do use Brighton as an example. Whenever they sell a player or get rid of a manager, there's always someone else that's been lined up long before it happens. They preempt it. Oh, everybody's after Caicedo. We'll keep him for 6 months. When he goes, we have Baleba lined up. He's the same type of player. He'll come in. It doesn't always work. But with their managers, it's always young, tactical, revolutionary, all of that. We'll bring you in. And I even include Potter in that because he was brilliant there. People forget how good he was at Brighton. He did fantastic work at Brighton. Let's get that straight. He did fantastic work in Sweden as well. And he was kind of the up-and-coming guy. So with them, like, United have gone through that for ages. They'll spend 2 years with a manager who doesn't suit the players because he walked into players that don't suit the system he plays. By the time he's signed 3 or 4 players, they realize it's not working. Then he leaves, and then someone else is walking into the team that he was on the verge of building, and it's just pandemonium all the time. So you do have to, in a weird way, take a leaf out of Arsenal's book. I understand. I still think that Arteta should have been kept for those 3 years and then sacked after we lost those 3 games in 21-22, and we move on. You know what I mean? And we move on. And then I think Arteta would have been one of those managers that comes in when a team's in a Spurs position. He spends 2 or 3 years, levels them out, and then he moves off, and you let the big boys come in and take the reins and finish the job. But if they went down, it would be hilarious. Let's get it right. It'd be hilarious. It'd be seismic, really, because it's just such a... It's so incomprehensible, and especially if we won the league and they went down. Well. I mean, that is something that your grandkids will use against Tottenham fans in like 50, 60 years. Even though they weren't there for it, they'll go, oh, yeah, well, we won the league and you went down. That it would be that. It'd be like 89 at Anfield. It'd be like all of those things. It would be so big that there's just no coming back from it. You know what I mean? To the point where Tottenham fans would just have to go down the road of, we'll just become court jesters and make fun of ourselves, and there'd be nothing left for them. So in a way, it'd be great, but it would also be, there's no more foreplay after that. You've shot your best load.
Yeah. No, big up Mr. Pads. He said that Angola home national team shirt is nice. Yes, and Shane will appreciate. Obviously, Shane and DJ do their retro show. Just before I bring North back in, I think someone else has just dropped a little chat, and it's our guy JCG. Hope you're good, my guy. Big up views. North side, big up the biggest Nonny Madueke super fan I know, Shane Gooner.
Oh, come on, man.
Trying to throw you under the bus. Big up Joseph, man. always appreciated around here, bro. You know how we do it, man. Big up to you. Big up to Scrooge as well. Agree, Spurs have injuries, but they still have Basuma, Simmons, Sarr, Dragoulson, Van der Ven, and Solanke isn't terrible. But that's not a 16th team. And I know, but as I said, Suge, man, they've been down there for like a year and a half right now, guys. When you deep it, do you know what I'm saying? They won their thing last year, yeah. But if the other teams weren't so bad, it could have been crazy then. So yeah, it's just wild to me. But anyway, let's move on, man. We had the big game at Anfield North. Obviously, I don't think I've spoken to you about about that game, about how you felt, because there was a lot of people saying don't panic. There was a lot of people panicking. How do you feel, man? You saw some of the City celebrations afterwards. Well, I hope you did, because I did, and it pissed me off, bro. Because for me, I looked at that and I thought, these men don't respect our thing. You know what I mean? Look how they're celebrating. They celebrate like they won it already. So, that's how I felt. And I was like, you know what? Now it's time to put your nuts on the table, as Kenny Ken says. You know what I'm saying? And handle the business. Man, how did you feel about the game? And what do you think about? Well, how do you feel about the game? How do you feel about Man City being back in the title race?
I was pissed off, man. I was pissed off. I'll see if I had time to calm down. But I did a show with Lex, the Liverpool fan, and Yamin, the City fan. And yeah, man, Liverpool capitulated, man. That was actually a pathetic performance, because Liverpool were the better team. They had the opportunities to win that game. Ekitike, numerous chances gone wide. Gakpo, numerous chances gone wide. Verts had a chance. You know what I mean? They did go ahead in the second half. They're the better team in the second half. And Szoboszlai with a great free kick. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to do to them what Liverpool did to us earlier on in the season. And then it's just capitulation. And everything was created by themselves, you know. Van Dijk and Konate having a stinker, not marking Bernardo Silva. Haaland with a little header over the top. Bernardo's there, great reaction, puts it in the back of the net, and then Alisson like coming out and taking on what was it? I think it was Ain't Nori that he took out. No, Nunes. He took out Nunes, and I'm like, what are you doing? Even from the position that he came and made contact with the player, the angle was so tight, he wouldn't have scored from there. So why are you running and, you know, going towards him and taking him out and then giving Haaland a pen? And I knew Haaland was going to take it, bro. This guy can deal with pressure, man. Like Haaland, the pressure doesn't get to him. Do you know what I mean? And then you give him a penalty, and it's like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys actually doing? It was just pathetic from Liverpool. The capitulation was pathetic. They had all the opportunities to win the game. Nobody on City's team looked that great apart from Mamouche. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Bernardo did his thing, but Semenyo was rubbish. O'Reilly was just walking around the place. Haaland wasn't effective in that game until we popped up for the assist. And it's like the game was there for the taking. And then they just capitulate like that. And it was just pathetic. It was just pissed me off. And the reason was because ultimately, our club has yet to prove that they can deal with pressure moments. Obviously, we know we're still ahead, but we're like, yo, how's this team going to react to this? Because they've been caught up. And I'm sure it's in the players' heads that we have been caught up before by Man City when we've had an 8-point cushion. You know, it's a mental game. For me, at this point in the season, it's so mental. Have you got the mental fortitude to go out there and win even when you're not playing well, and to just put together relentless wins? Have you got the mentality? Will the Carabao Cup affect you if we lose it to Man City, the team we're going up against for the league title? If we draw City in the FA Cup or in the Champions League in latter stages, is it going to affect how we perform in the league? Because we're still going up against them, you know, for the league title. Everything is mental for me because the ability of the players are there. And it's not just mental from the players, but it's also from the manager. You know what I mean? Because we see Arteta talks a lot about the players calming down, but a lot of the times he's the most animated one there. He's the most animated. He's the one outside of the technical box. He's the one shouting, screaming. Every single one never sits down. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just that's where we've come up short. It's not that we don't have the talent. It's just that at times we crumble mentally. We crumble. The pressure gets to him. Like every single time we have to, it's like the crunch end. And until they get over the line, this is why that game meant more to me than what maybe it should have. Liverpool fans didn't have to question the mentality under Klopp. You know what I mean? City fans have never really had to question the mentality of their players up until this season under Pep. You know, because these teams get over the line, they win trophies, you know, and they always make sure they leave with something. And we just, we tend to capitulate. Plus this season, not only that, last thing I'm going to say is when we've gone for these league title runs, we've discarded the other trophies. We're still in the FA Cup. We still got a Carabao Cup to play for. We've struggled just focusing on the league alone. People don't want to mention that, but that's the truth. We've put all our eggs in the Premier League and a lot of times come up short. This time, we've gone the whole way in the Carabao and we still got the FA Cup. Is he going to dash the FA Cup to focus on the league? I don't know. I haven't seen him be able to manage multiple competitions and win multiple trophies or win a trophy. So I don't know, man.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I think someone said Ryan Mason next Tottenham manager. Shane,
he'll be an interim. He always steps in whenever they sack their manager, so he's probably managed a shitload of games at this point. But
Deserby watching.
That's the rumor. I don't know if they'll take him. I don't know why they'd go for him. I think Carrick's going to get it if he keeps going the way he is. They'll get it. United never learned, they're like Tottenham. But on what Nort was saying about the City game, I had them to draw. I thought, right, they might draw. And then I said, if someone wins, I lean towards City, but I do think it will be a draw. Do you know what? It's the manner of the win that pissed me off, because we can say Liverpool capitulated, and they did, right? They did. Two things about that. It pissed me off that when We went 1-0 down. We just took it as all right. Well, we're not going to win this, and we had one chance, the Eze one that Arteta threw him under the bus for, where City just sort of. I was looking at them going, he's not throwing players forward, but because it paid off, I went, you know what, fair play to them. He had faith in them that if they keep playing their game, they'll get the goals. The penalty was silly, really silly, but would they have scored? You don't know. Haaland again wasn't great. He missed a chance in the first minute, but people forget. People are saying that City in the first half were absolutely pounded Liverpool. They were all over them in the first half. I thought Rodri was brilliant. He wasn't back to his best, but I thought he was looking like he's getting there. It's going to take him time. And as I said on a couple of streams, he's their Declan Rice, and they've been without him all season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And they've maintained just 6 points behind. We played extra home games. They're through in the Champions League. They're in the League Cup final. They're in the FA Cup. People keep saying, don't talk about City. But what's the point then? We have to have conversations. They're our biggest rivals. What do you mean don't talk about City? Oh, but they're shit. They're not the same City. Right, okay. Well, then why are we only 6 points clear? Why aren't we 10 points there? Why aren't we 15 points there? Oh, you want everything to be perfect. Not perfect. I want to get more than 1 point off Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to beat United at home.
Yeah,
you're damn right. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's all about. Yeah. I know, but City have lost 2 more than us. Okay, and I'm sure their fans are sitting there going, I wish we had a fucking beaten Tottenham at home, and I wish we had a, you know what I mean? We only got 1 point off Tottenham. I'm sure they're sick about that, just like we are about the Liverpool thing. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I'm sure they're concentrating on it. The only difference is that their fans will hold them accountable. You know what I mean? People giving out about, oh yeah, you're booing at United. Look what's happened since. We've gone off on one. He dropped Odegaard. He would have done that if he hadn't got booed. There's no way he would have done that. He listened to the media and he went, okay, I've got to drop Odegaard. Then he conveniently got injured. He would be back in the squad now if he hadn't got injured. And don't be surprised if you see him lining up against fucking Brentford, by the way. But the City game, the manner they did it, the last minute, getting the bit between the teeth. Now, they could just go, this new City could just go and lose at home to Fulham tonight. You know, you just don't know with them. But if they start to gradually, it's just caution. If they start to gradually string wins together and they pick up 3 or 4 in a row and we fail to beat Brentford, say, or Tottenham get a new manager bounce, as Nord said, all we have to go on is the mentality. People keep saying the size of the squad and all of this stuff that is different this year. Well, the mentality, we don't know if it's different. How do we know it's different? Exactly. You know what I mean? It could just be the same. And Nord made a great point. We're battling on all fronts now. And we've seen it. Even the Invincibles had a week where they went out of 2 competitions in 4 days. Yeah. It happens, right? Yeah. To a team like that with all those leaders, it happens. And we nearly lost that Liverpool game. We were 2-1 down at half time. But we had an Henry. Do we have an Henry that's going to say, give me the ball, I'm going to score a hat-trick and take Liverpool apart? I don't think we do. So, of course, we're going to be worried. And this is an Arsenal team that was under a different manager. This isn't just all about Arteta as much as they want to make it about him and say, oh, well, you have an agenda against him. I don't have an agenda against him. I don't like the guy, and I don't think he's the right man for the job. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to pretend that that's not the case? That is the case. I'm sorry. We failed to get over the line so many times. Yeah. Why wouldn't we think it's going to happen again? All the signs are there.
Right.
As I keep telling people are telling me that City are so terrible. Look at what they've done through the Christmas period. They've lost this many games or they've drawn this many games. I keep telling them they went into December 7 points behind, same amount of the games played. Then they came out of January 6 points behind with the same amount. So they gained a point on us. So this washed City team gained a point on us. Right. They got through in the Champions League. Oh, but we won it. So what? They don't have to play the playoff game. They still got through. Oh, but we get the home dressing room in the final. Brilliant. You know what I mean? Like I understand that winning it is important, but Liverpool won it last year and they went out in the next round. Oh, but we're not Liverpool. I'm just tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the you just have to back the team. I back the team every single time they play views. I broke down in tears when we got to the final. You can't fake that shit. Like, you know what I mean? You can't fake that shit. Yeah. But they don't understand. They just want it to be, you have to happy clap. You have to be a cheerleader. But cheerleaders, I don't want to go to a cheerleader of the Miami Dolphins to find out the history of the team. You know what I mean? I just want to look at her arse. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't, but you don't want, but that's what I mean. Like a cheerleader, the team's lost every game this season and they're still jumping around. That's all. If you want to do that, fine. But like, I'm not going to go to you for to talk tactics. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And when you need to, your only job is, as I always say, just knock off the quarterback whenever he wants it. In this situation, Arteta's the quarterback. So they verbally nosh him off by saying, "Oh, he's great and he's amazing" whenever he needs it.
Yeah, and it's for me, right? And I want to ask Northside quickly because I know you've given us time. It's 40 minutes. You just come off a live stream. Obviously, whenever you got to go, bro, just let us know. But I would like to get your opinions on obviously what we're just talking about now. The weird infatuation with having to like the manager. Now,
Oh.
as far as I was concerned, it's Arsenal since 1886. It weren't Arteta. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's an
200 years.
you know, he's an employee of the club. I don't have to like it. We've all worked with people we don't like. We've all had managers we don't like, but we can still go and make this work. You understand what I'm saying? So let me just know kind of your, you know, when they come in and they say you've got to give him credit now, though. No, I don't. Like you get paid a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on all of that, man? With this infatuation that we have to give the manager credit.
I don't know. I just feel like I think a lot of these fans I feel like a lot of them are just. I think it comes from fear. I think there's a lot of fear in this fan base. I think that they're scared that this is all going to be for nothing, that we have to start again. I think some fans, I think there's two halves. There's some fans that this is the best they've seen, so they want to hold on to it. That kind of reminds me of Wenger, where people didn't want to let go of Wenger because that's all they knew, and they were kind of scared of different. I think a lot of people, it's human nature. A lot of people are scared of different. I think with Arteta, he's given them a blanket with, oh, well, we get top 4 and, you know, we're always nearly good. We're almost, and they kind of like that, you know, they feel like at this present moment, we're not laughing stocks, you know, and I think some fans, I think they have more
Change.
fear of change than actually going all out to be
Stockholm
winning.
syndrome at this stage, Nord, isn't it? They can't imagine a life without him.
Yeah, and we've seen this with Wenger, you know, and these are the same
Yeah, I
people
was
that
like
would
that.
then say, you know, oh well, the Arteta's the best, but you guys said the same thing when we had Wenger. That who you're gonna get? Who's realistic? Oh, look at what he's done for the club. You guys say this every time you have sentiment towards a manager, but then here we are, and now all of a sudden you're telling us that Arteta's the guy. And then there's other fans where I feel like some fans I feel like they just accepted Arsenal being in the conversation. I feel like there's a lot of fans that they're comfortable in that spot. It's like we're not a laughing stock like Tottenham right now. Yeah, we're not. You know, we've established getting our top 4. You know, they went through the whole when Tottenham were getting top 4 over us. You know what I mean? They don't want to go back to that, and it's like it's all fear, bro. Because at the end of the day, it shows they don't really believe in the ownership. They don't believe in the squad, because why does it all fall down to one man? If the squad is there and the squad is as good as people say, then surely a top elite manager would want to come and manage this team if Arteta's not here. Surely there's people up for the job, you know? But I feel like a lot of them as well, they've put all their eggs behind Arteta and they care more about being proven right on that than proven wrong. And then they actually deflect how they feel towards us. Oh, you guys just want to be proven right. Well, we're still the same people that say if this manager succeeds in what we want him to do, then he can stay. That's not somebody that's not open to being proven wrong. That's somebody saying, I've got a standard. If you reach that, I don't believe you're going to reach that standard, but if you reach that standard, then cool. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with them, it's like, no, he must achieve what they said he's going to achieve, and they will afford him everything. Another contract, more players, more time. You know what I mean? More excuses, because they're not open to change their mind. They've had 6 years of him failing, and they still want to give him time. What's that? That's because you want to be proven right. It's not because you genuinely can look objectively and say, do you know what? I believed in Arteta, but you know what? My belief he hasn't shown me anything. My belief hasn't been rewarded. My belief in him hasn't been rewarded. I've given him everything I could say for him to achieve, and he hasn't. You know what? I have to be critical now of him, and I have to put the club first. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. All of them that are saying, oh, yeah, but, you know, he has to win it this season. They've been saying that for the last 4 years. Last 4 years.
And the funny thing about it, Nord, is that last season, most of us, if not all of us, said, even if he wins a League Cup, he can stay. And they said, no, it has to be a major. It has to be the League or the Champions League. Then when he won nothing, they're the ones that said, no, he stays. And we said, well, look, we were even giving him a League Cup. Now, Lee is on if he wins a League Cup this year. For me, no, sorry, it's not enough. Not enough, especially with the way everybody's fallen off. You cannot blow this league. This will be his masterpiece bottle. As I said, this will be the best he's ever done for bottling a league. But the thing as well with they don't want to go back to us being a laughing stock. I think our club is more of a laughing stock now than it's ever been, with the way they carry on. With the, you know, when they're doing Saka things, he's better than Robin, he's better than Prime, Messi, he's better. You know what I mean? I think that our fan base as a whole is more of a laughing stock now than it's ever been. Because all I see is typical Arsenal fan. Oh, this typical Arsenal fan. And there was a Ladbrokes ad where they stopped your man outside and they're saying, would you take Arteta over Prime? You know, and they went up through Mourinho and Sir Alex Ferguson. No, right? He's turning them all down, right? And Aaron was saying to me, oh, yeah, well, they just found one guy. I said, no, I guarantee if they stopped 10 people outside the Emirates, 9 of them would be the same. You know what I mean? 9 of them would say, yeah, no, I wouldn't take Prime Mourinho. I wouldn't take Prime Ferguson. I wouldn't take Prime Guardiola. You wouldn't take anybody. You just want Arteta. I've seen someone say, I'd rather finish 8th with Arteta than 4th with someone else. You know what I mean? There's this. And they say, I get accused of it all the time. You hate Arteta. Yeah, because you're not hitting me with anything there. I say it all the time. I say it all the time that I don't like him personally. I don't trust him. I think he's a scumbag. I think he's a politician. I think he's nasty. I mean, there's a picture now of Calafiori's leg today that's come out with this scar on his knee that's just grotesque. Like, you know what I mean? Like he goes through these players like they're just pawns to him.
Yeah,
so I don't trust him. I don't like the way he lies. I don't like the way he throws people on the bus. They can't accept that. But if he wins, I don't give a shit. And I even got called up on saying if he wins, I'd give him 1 more year. That wasn't enough. That was horrendous to someone. How could you only say that? I know. Look at all the managers that have won shit this year that are getting fired. You know what I mean? Like it. I don't know why our standards are lowered for him. And the whole with the laughingstock, I think we're more of a laughingstock now than we've ever been. Ironically, because of the fans who say they don't want to go back to us being a laughingstock. They're the ones that make us a laughingstock because they carry on that way and they say everything's perfect all the time when it's not. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like Bruce Rioch. I didn't like Bruce Rioch showing Ian Wright videotapes of John McGinley and saying this. I want you to make runs like this. I didn't like Rioch. I thought he was like a military man, and I didn't like him as manager. But Bergkamp came in his reign. I didn't want him to fail. I wanted him to do well. You know, I want Arteta to do well. I don't have to like him. Who likes their boss, by the way? Nobody. You know what I mean? I just don't trust him. I don't like him. But if he wins, I don't really care. I really don't, because I've been waiting for it for so long.
And they don't want to hear that though. They just hear that, oh, for fuck's sake, he's this, he's that, and then that's all they latch onto. It's honestly, it's so reactionary. But like I said, man, really appreciate both of you guys' time today, especially North. And let me ask you quickly, bro. We got Brentford coming up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And if Man City do what they're doing today, then they could be 3 points behind, which I think they will do. How do you think? How let me ask you if you think the team's going to be up for Brentford, because that's something that I've been worried about lately.
I do. I think we're going to win 2-0. I think we're going to win that game. I think we're going to win that game. I do think they'll be up for it. But we'll see, man. We'll see, bro. Because the thing is, I've just seen 2 versions of Arsenal this season. You know, the Arsenal, the version of Arsenal that lost to Villa, complacent against Chelsea, complacent against Sunderland, complacent against Liverpool and Man City this season, complacent against Man United at the start of the season. So I've seen a complacent Arsenal, but then I've seen an Arsenal that has been able to put games to bed. You know, that went back in the second game against Villa and put them to the sword. An Arsenal that put Sunderland on the second game to the sword. That turned up against Atletico. So these are the 2 versions of Arsenal that we've seen this season. Whether people want to admit it or not, we've seen 2 versions of Arsenal. You know, and there's a handful of games there's a load of games that we haven't done well. And so I ain't even mentioned the ones that we stunk it out to win it either. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't good performance. But then there's been some good performances as well. At the end of the day, we see this every season where we play good in a handful of games, we play bad. We're up there in a title charge, but it's down to them, bro. It's down to them. Like, it's ours to lose. I keep saying it's ours to lose. As much as people think that we don't want the team to win, it's ours to lose. Like, there's nothing else here that can go our way. Liverpool investment falling off, not even in the conversation. Chelsea getting Maresca walking. You know what I'm saying? Man City not looking like the Man City of old, dropping points time and time again, dropping points. Even their fans are not even 100% confident. Right. Do you know what I mean? What else do we need? What else do we need? And this is off of the back of us having, a lot of people say, the best summer we've had ever since the Emirates era. So it's like, what else do we need? What else do we need? If we didn't go out there in January and recruit, then that's on the club. I still said even if we didn't recruit anyone, I still have the expectation of us to win. So I don't know. I don't know what else that we need. We've got Hincapié and Mosquera that's come into the team, and to be fair to them, they've not really put a foot wrong. They've looked like they've been with the team a lot longer than what they have. They've actually added quality to our team in terms of depth. We had both our centre backs injured this season, and it looked like it didn't really affect us that much, not to derail us as it would have previous seasons. We've got numerous options for the number 10. We went and got Zubamendi, according to the fan base, better than Thomas Partey. We went and got the missing piece in Gyökeres. We got him firing lately. Let's see if we continue. We went and got Madueke. The fan base then did a 360 on their opinion of Madueke, saying he's quality because he's direct. Oh, and then we've got the two finishers on the left-hand side in Martinelli and Trossard. Right. Why are we not in this league?
I did want one thing before you leg it, Lord. People keep saying that we don't have to concentrate on City, right? And I agree. You should concentrate on your own games and all of that. But it's easier said than done to not know that a team is playing, or to not know that a team's playing well, or to not see City's reaction when they won. So for you, do you think that the result tonight will have an effect on tomorrow night? Because I do think Brentford will score tomorrow. I think we'll win 2-1. I think Brentford, they do throw a lot of players forward. And I think he'll go for the jugular. I really do. I think he'll go, I've nothing to lose. Keith Andrews will say, I'm not going to get dragged into a relegation battle. This would be a nice scalp. You know what I mean? I think that we should just go for it, you know, and I think that they have the players to do it. But do you think that the Tottenham game, or sorry, the City game tonight, if they win and win comfortably and close at the 3, do you think that will have an effect? Because what I've seen this season is it's almost the opposite to previous seasons where Arteta, when the team behind us slips up, i.e. City, he then goes cautious because he goes, well, I'm not going to lose. If I draw and if I sneak a win, then when they win, he seems to go a bit more all out because he wants to maintain the gap. Do you think that if they win, that it will play on the player's mind, as in, oh, God, it's 3 points and we've been here before and I know what happens? Or do you think they're too strong-minded for that?
No, I think it'll affect them. Because I think it affected them against Liverpool when we could have extended the lead, and Forest when they extended the lead. I think all of them get affected. I'll be real. Number one, the manager. So I think so, bro. I think so. I think every time that we haven't capitalized to extend the lead is because that's a mental thing. Because we should be about 14, 15 points clear. So I do think it's affecting the club. I do think so.
Yeah. I'll worry for it myself.
Big facts, man. Shane, what did you say? You think it'll be 2-1 Arsenal?
2-1, I think. Yeah, 2-1. Yeah, I do think they'll score. If they, that's if we score first. If they score first, I worry that we'll draw. Right. But I do think they've got goals in them. They didn't have Thiago. Thiago only came off the bench in the last game, and he didn't look right. He's firing. I just feel they've scored a bucket load. They've put 3s and 4s past teams this season.
They got Keith Andrews. He's doing an amazing job.
So I do worry if they score first and we have to start coming at them. What will happen? And don't be surprised if they have the early pressure. I think he is going to go and try and get an early goal. If we can hit them and take a lead, then we have them by the neck. But I do think the first goal is massive, absolutely. I know it always is, but I think tomorrow night especially it is. And if City have won and we even draw, I mean it's right back on again. It's right back.
Yeah, squeaky bum time. Listen, North. Absolute, legend for coming on, man. Always appreciated, my broski. It's been wicked having you on. Of course, my partner in crime, Shane. Always a pleasure. What have you got coming up, North, man?
Yeah, man, just more videos, more videos, more clips, more lives. Going live later on today, probably midnight my time, probably 11 p.m. UK time. And yeah, man, big up views every single time, man. I appreciate you having me on. Shane, you already know, that's my bro. Big up to you every time as well, man. And yeah, man, hopefully, hopefully today's result goes our way and we got our win on Thursday, man. You know what I mean? God willing, we win this league, man.
Shane, my friend, full Irish tomorrow?
Full Irish tomorrow, yeah. What day is tomorrow? Thursday. There'll be obviously no bruised banana because of the match. We will be doing a match reaction on Views' channel, so make sure you hit a notification for that. We'll be going live the second the final whistle blows. And then Friday, I'm going up to Dublin to meet big Tony Adams, man. To have me picture taken and go to the Tony Adams speech. So I'm definitely going to ask him if he'll come on the channel with us. I'm looking forward to that. I will do a vlog. I've never done one before. I presume I just record bits and pieces and splice it together. I should be able to do it, but I'll do a few bits and pieces for that. And then off topic, I was going to be back this Saturday, and I've had to put it back again. It's fucking Valentine's Day. The missus will kill me. I didn't even realize. I had to set up and everything. So I have to celebrate that Hallmark holiday with her. waste money on fucking flowers and shit. 20 odd years, man. You know what I mean?
Time
If I don't love her by now, you know. But yeah, no, yeah, looking for sure. We'll be, but geez, yeah. So I'll have to record Saturday's full Irish from the hotel. I'll have to bring the laptop with me. Can't break the streak, man. Can't break the streak. We're getting close to a year. I think I'm coming up to a year on YouTube, actually.
Really, I think it's going to be 2 years. 2 years for me in March, I believe. 2 years for me in March, man. And congratulations for getting to 20K and above as well, Northside.
Man, brilliant.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Big yourself up.
That, man.
Yeah, man, guys, listen, man. That was amazing. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Same shit. I'm going to be back tonight. I think 7:20. We're going to watch Villa against Brighton. So join me for that if you want. Other than that, back with the midday kickoff. Lethal reaction, as Shane says. Even first 11 with Rashid, so big up him as well. Big up all you legends in the chat, man. You've been amazing today. Make sure that you are subscribing to both of these guys, though. And we're gonna send you over to True Gooner, man. We're gonna send you over to Josh, and we'll be back, man. Peace, man. Big up, man. Really appreciate it, guys. Big up. Peace.
Big up.
Let's not be fooled. The game belongs to the players. It's as simple as that, you know. I'm strongly